What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Nick with Leverage Media, and today I'm here at the opening of Parker Seminars, Las Vegas. Actually, it opens tomorrow. We're getting all the booths set up right now, and I'm excited for this because this is our first event with Leverage Media that we're really going to like a large chiropractic wide event as opposed to like a specific coaching group or a state association. So this is our first like big national event that we have a booth at, and you know it reminds me a lot about our practice in that whenever you're doing online marketing, whenever you're creating content and you're meeting people where they're at and they're spending time at, if you can add on to onto that marketing aspect, the offline piece, that's when things really start to compound. So we've been creating content for my practice for about 4.5 years now. And I would say it's probably started happening after about 9 months to a year, but it's really been happening a lot lately to where our offline efforts seem like they're a lot more magnified than they were before we were creating content. So before we were creating content, we did a lot more screenings especially, but just like networking events and speaking events, we did more of those, I think, just because there were more opportunities. We've been doing less of those as time has gone on, mainly not really by choice, but just because there aren't as many going on in town. But what we have noticed is when we do them, that they are more effective than when we just did the offline marketings by themselves. So that online and offline component can really start to make a difference, because on the online, it's light touches, it's staying in front of them, it's being consistent. And then when you're physically there in the same space with someone, a lot of times people will just come up to us and say, you know, we see your videos online, or when we reach out to corporations or places that employers, they may have seen us, and so that know, like, and trust factor is already there if you've been adding value, if you've stayed consistent, if you've been in front of them for a long time, especially if they've been following your stuff or if they watch some of it from here, every once in a while. So it's just a matter of them knowing your face. It's a matter of them hearing your message, knowing what it is that you're talking about, even if it's just kind of vaguely. They know more about you than they do about the guy who's not doing anything. So this is our first. Normally when we do offline events, number one, they're a lot more effective for us than in terms of like a lead. Like if somebody comes in from me meeting them in an event and me getting some time to like sit one-on-one and talk with them, those people are a lot stickier in terms of, we don't really have no-shows. We don't really have people that like schedule strategy sessions and then don't show up. It's very rare. But the ones that come from offline events tend to have a much higher conversion rate into actually becoming clients. And I think it's because they get to know, they feel like they know you a little bit more if they've actually spent one-on-one time with you. And patients are the same way. When we do spinal screenings, if somebody's seen our videos on Facebook and now they're doing a spinal screening, it's almost a guarantee that they're going to come in and they're going to be more likely to show up. They're going to be more likely to close. That's why we love doing events in the office, because it gives them a chance to actually be in our space, meet us in person, and then those people are like 100% show up rate, maybe not 100% close, but much higher close than somebody who maybe comes just from a Facebook ad or calls us from Google. So making sure that you're adding that offline component, just so important. In the nice part about it, especially if you're doing speaking, the offline components can turn into online components. If you've ever heard of Gary V's content model, where you create pillar posts or pillar content, which would be like you giving a talk at your local chamber of commerce. Maybe it's a 30-minute talk, but if you can chop that up and pull out 3 or 4 nuggets that are maybe 2 to 3 minutes long, those make for great, not only social proof because you're speaking in front of a crowd, but they also can create great pieces of content to just push out. So if you're doing online marketing, that's awesome, but don't give up the offline. For somebody who runs a digital marketing agency, you'd be shocked at how much I focus on the offline side of it, especially for my practice. So if you're here at Vegas, please come over and say goodbye. I'm like tucked away in some corner somewhere, but just look up the thing on the map, Leverage Media, and we'll see you on the next one.